Imagine waking up in a world where everything is perfect. The air is fresh, the trees are heavy with fruit, and you have a sense of purpose and belonging. There's no stress, no shame, no fear, just peace. Now, imagine that in the heart of this paradise, there's only one rule, just one. Everything is yours, except for a single tree. What would you do if you were told, you can have anything except that? Would you be content? Or would curiosity and desire start to whisper in your ear? This is the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, a story not just about the first humans, but about all of us. Because every day we face our own forbidden fruit. Every day we stand at the crossroads of desire and discipline, choice and consequence. In today's video by Beyond the Bible, we're exploring why humanity was never meant to walk alone, how the creation of Adam and Eve reveals the deeper truth about connection, balance, and divine design. Stick around till the end, because this might just shift how you see every relationship in your life. In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve lived in a perfect world. Nature thrived, love existed without pain, and they walked with God Himself. Everything they could possibly need was freely given. But there was one command: you may eat from any tree in the garden, but not from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That tree wasn't a trap, it was a test of trust, a marker of freedom. Because love must be chosen, not forced. Boundaries are not burdens, they're the borders where real freedom begins. Then came the serpent. He didn't push, threaten, or scream. He questioned. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Temptation almost never comes with red flags. It comes with whispers, doubts, subtle rewordings of truth, and so the mind begins to wander. Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful, desirable, promising. It wasn't evil to want wisdom, but to gain it by breaking trust, that changed everything. So she took it. She ate it. She gave it to Adam. And just like that, innocence was replaced by shame. Transparency was replaced by hiding. Intimacy was replaced by blame. But the real power of the story isn't in what they did. It's in what it teaches us about ourselves. Temptation in our world doesn't look like a serpent and a fruit. It looks like late-night scrolling that turns into envy, that tiny compromise in business that no one will ever see, that conversation with someone you're not supposed to get that close to. Desire isn't the enemy. In fact, desire is often rooted in good things. We desire love, validation, knowledge, success. But when those desires go unexamined, they grow beyond their purpose. They override our values. That's what happened in Eden. The desire for wisdom became greater than the trust in God's timing. And when trust is broken, clarity disappears. We act out of impulse instead of insight. What followed was hiding. Adam and Eve, once unashamed, now stitched fig leaves and ran. Equinen, that's what we do when we cross our own moral lines. We hide behind excuses, behind busyness, behind silence. Shame always isolates, honesty always heals. And here's something we often forget. Our choices ripple. Eve's decision impacted Adam. Their choices shaped the course of humanity. Our individual choices, even the ones we think are private, always affect someone else. Your integrity affects your relationships. Your discipline affects your future. Your honesty affects your peace. Now, let's step out of the garden for a moment. We live in a world overflowing with temptation, not just big moral failures, tiny daily decisions that slowly shape who we become. We think temptation is about willpower, but it's more about wisdom. So, how do we manage desires today? How do we lead our hearts instead of being led by them? Temptation thrives on urgency, so the most powerful response is stillness. Before you act, breathe. Reflect and ask, does this align with who I want to be? Desire is often a signal. Behind the craving is a core need. Loneliness, exhaustion, insecurity. If you can name the root, you'll stop trying to solve spiritual hunger with surface-level snacks. Before you act, imagine the outcome. What will this cost you in a week, a year, a decade? Wisdom is about seeing beyond the now. The more we hide temptation, the stronger it becomes. Share it with someone safe, journal about it. Admit the struggle. Honesty breaks the power of secrecy. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your values, not just friends who cheer you on, but mentors who hold you up when your desire wavers. Temptation is not about being we, it's about learning to be clear. The Garden of Eden wasn't just about a man and a woman in ancient history. It's a living metaphor. Every day, you and I stand in our own gardens, faced with choices that shape us. Some fruits look harmless, even helpful, but the question remains, what will this grow in my life? You don't have to fear your desires, you have to lead them. You were never meant to walk through life alone. That's why God gave Adam a partner. That's why we need accountability, community, connection. So the next time you're tempted, remember, you're not weak for feeling desire. You're not alone in the struggle. You're not powerless to choose differently. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Make choices that echo peace, plant seeds that grow purpose, and remember, the story of Eden didn't end in exile. It began a redemption. Choose wisely because what you plant today, you'll live with tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If this resonated, subscribe to our channel Beyond the Bible, like, share, or drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep growing together.